15.687. Can he improve? We'll keep our eye on that 5.21 as he comes across the flag stand for the final time. No improvement there. He got it on his first lap, a 15.687. A little bit of a change there in the top 10. Bryce Shesby now in the 7th spot. That'll put Dr. Dirt back to 10th. So our top 5, Chad Thrash, Carl Kilgore the 4th, Hayden Moran, Jackson Moore, Mickey Trosclair. That's Evident Lloyd in the 21 machine. Blake Comer in the 5. Shelby Sheedy, I believe, in the G4. Maybe that's probably right there. So a mistake there earlier in the evening. The 15L, Donovan Long was in the 15. Now, the 15 on the racetrack now, that is Trevor Woodard, the driver out of Tennessee. So let's go back to the top of the charts here. And Bubba Vandergriff now in the top 5. He sits in the 4 position. Jackson Moore now back to the 5 spot. Chad Thrash, the time to beat, a 15.393. It's been pretty tight on Chad's behalf in that 15.3 mark. Carl Kilgore sitting at a 15.4. Hayden Moran at a 15.5. That's Adam Bunch in the 52 machine. Jason Garver in the 27, the 35, Hartman, Daryl Hartman.
You know what we were talking about earlier, Thrash come out in the first group, I believe. It's the first group. Quick time is set at 15.393 in the first group.
Right.
Racetrack slowed down just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So that 393, the 15.393 may hold.
Yeah, that has been. But last night we seen, out of nowhere, all of a sudden they just started climbing the speed charts again. As the sun starts to go down, the track's going to change. We do have a car up in the wall over on that side.
That's the 52 car. 52 car turning sideways up in turn number 1. Looks like we're back up and going here as they got the 52 car back on his way. Checkered flag is going to fall, this time by Chad Thrash, still atop the board. Let's see if anybody can take that spot from him.
It's not.
So
testing 1 2 1 2.
our next group of cars coming out on the speedway. Shay Knight will bring them out in the number 3 car out of Columbus, Mississippi. The forward race car, the 62 car, be the second car out on the speedway. Logan Bright, he'll bring the 82 B car out on the track here. And it looks like that's going to be the 19M car. 19M car coming out on the track. But Thrash, the time to beat here, 15.530. Is it 15.533?
15.3, yes, sir.
15.3, yeah. Watch that 3 car. He was getting around here good in hot laps a while ago.
Yeah, Shay Knight.
Good fast time going on right there. So, looks like we've got 2 cars on the track.
This must be Group A, and then we're going to come out with Group B next. So I believe this is the final 2 cars.
Okay, so what they've done, they put all Group A cars, they're sending them out.
Right.
No special order, I guess. Group B.
So I kept my eye on Rex Rudder right there. He was the first guy out last night in practice, and have it be he's the last guy out in group qualifying. That's just the way the story goes here this weekend. We're going to keep our eye on Shea Knight, though, because this is it for qualifying. He's up to the 12th spot. I think he lost a little bit of ground over there in the corner, and he'll bank it off the top there through 3 and 4, coming to the flag stand, and he's going to hold that 12th spot. So it looks like we've got our first pole sitter of the night.
This is Group A cars, Chris, right?
That's right. This is Group A.
We got another group to go, which will be Group number B, Group B.
B.
They split them in half. I believe we had, 54 in this group?
Yeah, I believe it was 57 in this, so we're looking right around 57 for the next group. There's $300 up for the quick time, so 15.3.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Overall.
Statement overall. Yes, that's going to be the
I got you.
fastest time here in qualifying tonight.
Overall.
Right now, Chad Thrash has it with a 15.3. So
if somebody in that Group B don't knock him off, but I believe that racetrack slowed down some, the way it seems, the times and all.
Right.
The 15-second times are not happening right now. They're in the 16-second. Some of them even in the 17 seconds.
we have watched many times as the sun goes down, though. What do we say? The racetrack gets faster.
Well, that moisture's going to, when it cools off, that moisture's going to work its way back to the top there.
That's right.
And probably going to make it as a house of hook, let's say. It's going to hook up. So.
Well, you should know a little bit about farmland. Of course, you know, it has something to do with the sun and the moon. When the sun goes away, the moon draws the water up out of the ground, and that's what gives us such a great racetrack to race on as the night goes along. But we're getting ready for Group A now. I mean, Group B qualifying. We'll have to keep that time in mind, 15.3.
I'm going to write that down here.
It's gone.
15.353, I believe. 15.395. All right, Group B. Group B on the speedway now. We'll see if any of these guys can crack that top 5 spot.
And we're going to watch Logan Bright, the Coker, Alabama driver, taking the seat from Deddy. We'll see if he can race his way into the main event through the qualifiers here tonight. That's the 19M of Clayton Miller. There's the 33 machine of Keenan Vandergrift, the Tennessee driver. And we've got the 7 of Tony Cruz, who's taking the top spot, along with Joe Ham in the J3. Now Logan Bright, a 15.692. Here comes the checkered flag. We are live on Facebook right now, so they're getting kind of a sneak peek through the Facebook world of what we've got going on here at the 12th Annual Tracks Plus Southern Street Stock Nationals, presented by Crate Racing USA. I want to thank y'all for being here and on board. Go ahead and buy that subscription. I guarantee you the money spent here tonight, by Saturday night at the end of this event, it'll be the best money is spent all year long. So
our next group, Chris, is rolling out on the speedway. It's going to be Matthew Lothrop in the 72, Matt Whitener in the 03, Neil Baggett in the 45, Joshua Araby in the 1, Jared Waxter in the 32B car. That should be your next 5 cars.
Yeah, that's Corey Neal Jr. Unfortunately, one of the guys didn't make it out, Joshua Araby, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. But here goes Neil Baggett all the way up to the wall there. White flag out. He's going to have to get it on this one. That might have slowed him down just a bit there. But he's up to 4th. And Walthrop comes across. There's Baggett. Baggett to the top of the board. 15.661, Ross.
15.661.
Corey Neal Jr. We're going to talk a lot about him over the weekend. He's at a 15.764.
What about the torch passing here from Trey to Logan? He's second quick so far with that 15.692. Here comes the next group, Chris.
Let me say this about Bright. If you want the next Dale Earnhardt, go to Coker, Alabama, and have a child, because there's a lot of fast race car drivers that come out of Coker, Alabama. That's for sure. We're going to see one later this weekend, Connor Thomas, who's already locked into the main event in the Factory Stock Pier Street Challenge. So there's Joshua Araby. Then you've got the Dirty White Girl, Brian Rickman. There's the 3 car. I believe we talked about him earlier, Wyatt Hill. The 007, a John Harper Livingston. And I believe it's the Chelsea, Iowa driver in the 93. That's the 53 car of Jonathan Scott, 53S. There's the checkered flag. Joshua Araby, the onshore race car, has found his way to the 5 position. On the speed chart, Neil Baggett leads the way. It's 15.661. Logan Bright, Corey Neal Jr., Tony Cruz, and Joshua Araby, your top 5. Josh Lucas. There's Doug Nastasi, so that's not right. Once again, Doug Nastasi in the SOXX car. There's Hunter Runyons in the 10 pink-lettered machine. The 2S of Andrew Stone. There's Dalton Peavy in that 915, a different color race car, the North Carolina driver. And 12T Rod Tucker. We're going to watch Rod Tucker. His name keeps coming up as the weekend progresses. Rod Tucker knows where the fast lane is. He's right up there near the top of the wall, Ross. I think this kid knows how to get around the House of Hook out here at the Whynot Motorsports Park. Here's the white flag. We'll check the board. No change to the top 5. No, Rod Tucker, that's right, into the second position there, a 15.689, just 0.07 of a second off from the pole position there with Neil Baggett. I seen the blinking light, so I was kind of hesitant on saying anything right there. Obviously, there was something that happened. They had to throw the caution lap, but we're back green again. Here's the green flag. We'll take it with Andrew Stone as he banks it off at turn number 4. Dalton Peavy did get into the top 5 there in the 4th spot. So Josh Lucas not making the call. There's a 5 machine of Tyler Nicely. 12L of Josh Lucas. I have found him. There's Stacy Herron in that 20 car. I believe that is the 10 machine. Let's see if we can get the number on him. Nope, that's the 22. That's another 22 race car. And Jared Jones in that 81. Keep your eye on Jared Jones. Let's see if we can find that time on the 22. It's going to get a lot easier after this, Ross, because we'll have lineups and stuff to work with instead of just making sure that these guys are coming out in their proper qualifying order. That's been kind of the hiccup here. Some of these guys did not make the roll call like they needed to, and so, if that's the least of our worries this weekend, I think we'll be all right. So Neil Baggett still at the top of the chart. Rod Tucker, then Logan Bright, Dalton Peavy, and Andrew Stone round out your numbers there. So we'll go back.
15.393 is the time to beat here.
Yeah, that's going to be $300 by Statement Race Cars.
She said giving $300 to the overall fastest, not
right.
in the groups, but in the overall fastest time here. And the next group rolls our way, Mr. Creighton.
That's right. So we're trying to figure it out. There's the 68 machine. That's Cody Allen. The 18B of Brandon McDowell, one of those drivers I highlighted earlier in the evening. Here's the 1 machine crossing over. That should be Noah Daspit. At the 44 of Luke Bennett. And the X2C of Travis Marsh, who took the green flag there, but the 44 of Luke Bennett had not fired yet. Travis Marsh may have messed up his first qualifying lap by running into a car that had not quite got to speed yet. So they'll cross the flag stand now. We'll keep our eye on in live timing going now. Travis Marsh sitting 3rd in the Crate Racing USA Championship points. Had a factory stock win last weekend. Always a fast driver in that X2C car. Driver that races a lot down at Hattiesburg Speedway. No change, though. No change to the top of the charts.
You didn't see what he's got on the back of his spoiler, have you?
No, I think I might have missed it.
He says, I don't cheat no more than my ex-wife did.
I tell you what, isn't that so fun to see some of the lettering and stuff on the back of these race cars? I've seen all kinds of statements. Some of them are R-rated, and some of them are just outright funny. So I think I seen one that said, got toilet paper one time. So that's for all the tears. So the next group coming out, man, they're coming out fast. There's the 151. I know that's Gary Sutton in that 151 machine. There's a couple of drivers that have up near the wall there. Can't really see their numbers on the race car. I believe that's a 24 of Justin Scarberry, the actual first car, whatever the middle car is.
I know Dale Nelson came out. He's in
well, that's the middle car right there, Dale Nelson.
Car.
So he's in the middle there. So, hey, as the numbers start coming out, process of elimination starts, and we're able to kind of filter out
what is
who
this
is who.
SOSX?
That's Doug Nastasi. And let me tell you, Doug's been around a long time. He's just a hard racer. I think his home track was St. Tammany Speedway. Yeah, so he's one of those guys. He has to travel to enjoy racing now that his home track is no longer operating. So we even seen Doug, I believe, down at East Bay at the beginning part of the year. So he went down there and hung out during speed weeks and raced at East Bay. Now, we're just, 56 days away from East Bay's last race? Man, oh, man.
Up. Yeah, October. That'll wind it up. Hey, what about the crane and the flag in the middle of the racetrack, man?
I like that.
I want them guys to take a look at that. I've seen a lot of stuff, but that's pretty neat right there. Big crane sits in the infield, run the boom out, got the American stars and bars hanging off of that right there. So that's pretty cool.
So
held on by 2 pair of vice grips.
Goodness gracious. Well, I don't know if this is a good thing or not, Ross. I just got a message from a friend. He said, I don't know if they can do anything about it, but you and I are way louder than the race cars. They can't hear the race cars. So people on the broadcasting says that they can't hear the race cars. I thought we were here to talk.
Is he at home?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. That's controlled by Crate Racing USA.
Yeah, we don't have any control of that.
I guess we could back up, not talk so loud.
But maybe I need to tone it down just a little bit. I think that's probably what our buddy was saying there. Michael Santangelo, right up near the wall. He's going to come to the flag stand. Would not be surprised to see him one of the faster qualifiers here. When this checker flag falls down. There's Dale Nelson. We talked about him earlier. The 151 of Gary Sutton. The 04 of Austin Brown, I believe that is. So checkered flag out, and the top 5 stays the same. Corey Hill in the 6th spot, Tony Cruz in the 7th, Josh Araby in the 8th, Clayton Miller in the 19M. He's got the 9th spot, and Brian Rickman holds on to the top 10. Neil Baggett still at the top of the speed chart with a 15.
142 car coming out on the speedway right there.
661. Yep. That's going to be Joseph Dykemper in that 148. The 603 is Reese Laborde. 14B.
Justin McCree, he's out there in the 25.
That's a Cadillac race car. And Jamie Bolden, the Cuba, Alabama driver in the 232 Track Star race car. White flag is out. There's the checkered flag.
Oh, we got one on the wall.
Is that McCree?
Justin McCree looks like the 25. We'll get a little replay maybe on that right there.
Is this where it starts for McCree? I mean, he's got the provisional. He's already locked in. He won that through the prelude. We see the tire. It's all messed up. What a heartbreak. But you know what?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If it's anybody that can fix it and have it back here at any time, that man right there can get her done.
It ain't no fun if he ain't coming from the back anyway, right, Ross?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy right there can single-handedly put a show on for us every
records.
That's been the name of the game quite a few times for Justin McCree. Hate it for him, but they've got plenty of crew members back over there. They're going to get that car back ready. We'll see him. Let's see if where his qualifying time wound up.
Where's he at in the?
Well, you hope that he got the best he could out of that first lap. He's sitting 20th there, so he's going to be mirrored toward the back as the times start rolling in at 16.130.
You got 111 cars. Watch the replay. I believe they may be showing that here in just a second of what happened to McCree up in turn number. There he goes. Let's see. They're going to back him up, run him forward again.
I almost believe that right front may have just broke on him.
You know, McCree. I'm saying it's knocked the front end off and win it one.
Well, he's going to be up there near that wall.
Yeah,
that's always.
Spot. That's one
he
does have a starting spot in this race.
He will fall back on that if need be.
So, looks like a lot of the officials down to the 25 cars. You see it on the screen here. Checking on it, making sure everything's okay. See, they may have to put him on the hook and get him back to the pit area. But he's got a crew over there that can get care of business. He's got Johnny Stokes, Jackson Moore, his teammates, along with Brad Logan. They'll get her straightened. They'll get her going.
Well, I see the red light on. Every single time we see the red light on this weekend, we need to remind these race fans that we have Vendors Row and we have concession stands ready to sell you a cheeseburger. Get your fixings at Peggy's Kitchen. Go grab you a cheeseburger, maybe that infamous chicken sandwich that I love so much.
Cheeseburgers full on.
I tell you what, that old tummy starts to growling, man. We'll have to.
There goes the high roller on the hook.
I just need you to know, Ross, that when I get that nachos and cheese, they're not yours, okay? They're mine. So I'm going to be like that this weekend. Those are nachos.
Nachos and cheese, and they're not nachos will be yours.
I hope you brought the Prilosec.
Yeah, you're right. And there he goes off the hook, off the racetrack. They'll get the 25 car McCree back to the pit, survey the damage on it, see if they can get it back going before the qualifying races come up here. And we'll get back underway here in just a moment with our final cars in group number B qualifying. So what we're going to do, Chris, when the red light comes on, everybody rushes to Vendors Row.
That's right. Right. Rush to Vendors Row. Grab you a cheeseburger. Do not walk out of Peggy's Kitchen without grabbing you what? An ice-cold Coca-Cola. We've got them.
Product.
That's right, man. And also, if you're over there on the back stretch, go holler at my buddy Corey. He's from Magnolia Beverage Company. They got all kinds of good fixings over there, from beer to Red Bull, you name it. He's got.
You get the adult beverages on the backside.
Well, I don't know what's stronger, Red Bull or a Miller Lite, but you know what? I'm a Red Bull kind of guy, so.
I don't indulge in none of it, but
I gotta have my caffeine, Ross. I've come a long way in my life. I still have to have caffeine, so.
Maybe that's what my problem is. Since I'm getting so old, I may need to drink some Red Bulls or something.
And McCree didn't just grab the wall. He had to take this fence with him too.
It's like taking a fence down. He just kind of brushed up against it and come on down through there.
That's right. And guys, one thing we want you guys to know. Look, I don't know. James Fox lost his life last week at Southern Raceway. He had a heart attack or something to that. It was a medical condition. But, guys, if y'all seen the picture of that race car up in the fence, it was well over half the race car was sticking off the race surface up in the fence.
That's what I try to tell all these race fans.
You never know what's going to happen.
I know it can happen in a split second.
Right. You know that for sure.
I can give you a full rundown on it.
I know a couple of...
Standing around that fence, I know, especially up in turn number 1 and 2 and down in 3 and 4. I saw Anthony Rushing one night here at Whynot Motorsports Park hit that wall in 3 and 4 in a super late model car, and she goes up to the top of the fence.
Right.
And, I mean, it could have very well went over and hurt somebody. Or safety, you can't be too talk about it enough, really.
Right. Well, and I remember one year, it was when I first started, Artis Bunyard was out here racing. A starter come off the car and actually went through the catch fence. Now, that's a freak incident, of course. That doesn't happen often. But you have to be aware when you're around that fence line that something can and will happen. So if we get on to you guys that y'all up around the fence line, just work with us. We don't like people on the fence line here on the front stretch or the back stretch.
Yeah, especially on the front side here.
We understand that you guys are around the corners there, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I tell you what, those guys over there in 1 and 2, they can't hear a word we're saying, but they're having the time of their life over there.
That's what it's about. It's straight stock nationals, man.
I tell you what, it is awesome. So they're still doing a little bit of track repair.
Let me ask you a question. What about Johnny Brady? Has anybody heard from Johnny Brady?
Well, he's being shady.
Is he on the grounds?
Yes, he is here.
He's being shady.
He's Shady Brady.
Well,
he's got a party.
I heard they moved his stage over here on the new land over here. So,
well, people will actually be able to sleep over on this side of the speedway. I think that was the idea. Rodney went and bought a bunch of property over there so he could sit Shady Brady all the way near the back.
Yeah, Brady ought to be thankful. Wayne done invested lots of money in him a new spot for the Shady Brady throwdown, as I call it. I went to one of them one time.
I think you told us about it, and
yeah.
You got a little upset about that, didn't you? They didn't treat you too well,
did they? They didn't treat me very well, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I have not been back to one of them since then.
I wouldn't talk about it either because there's probably people at home listening.
Yeah, you're right.
If you've ever been to a Shady Brady party, a lot of times things get a little out of control. I wonder if he's got the bull this year. I heard that the bull's
supposed to be here, they say, in the Duncan booth this year.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I tell you what, they're not going to get me or you in the Duncan booth. I'm going to set my foot down right now.
I'll get in it because I'll stand flat-footed, and I won't never get too wet, nothing but my legs, you know.
Well, that's the adventures of a tall man. How's the dust look up here? I mean, it's been a while since I dusted the place.
Little red.
Man, I love it. Look, I come into this weekend thinking, man, I'm here by myself. I'm just going to have to maintain and struggle to get this thing done.
Tell you what,
now I'm having the time of my life with you next to me.
I talked to Shannon Hires earlier in the week, and I asked him about driver introductions. You know, I always like doing that. And he said, yeah, we was talking about factory stock driver intros for the big race. We may have to do them in the cars, but he said, well, you know, Chris, he ain't gonna have no help this year.
Qualifier number 1, guys. Qualifier number 1. Look, we can scream over this microphone all night long. The best thing to do is know when to go, guys. That's my key word here. Know when to go. Qualifier number 1 is ready. Okay, so y'all line up in staging lanes, get ready to go. Qualifier number 1, we are ready for y'all to line up. Qualifier number 1. You guys head to staging lanes. Qualifier number 1. All right, 27 car out onto the speedway. That's Tommy Lowry out of Florida, Milton, Florida driver. Also track promoter. All right. And there's TJ Herndon, the Tennessee driver in the 1H. The 327 of Caden Price. And the 75 of Stephen Holbow. And somebody snap crackling. Yeah, that's it. Shooting ducks out there. Yeah, we are still in Group B qualifying. Fast time right now for Group B. It's being held by Neil Baggett, a 15.661. Rod Tucker sits in the second spot. Logan Bright, Dalton Peavy. Andrew Stone. So, all right, there's the checkered flag. No change to the top of the top of the board there. No pressure, Ross, but they say that you and I are quite the team here. We're making them laugh at home, so that's a good thing to hear. Just a few more cars to roll out. I believe we got about 15 more cars. No, 10 more cars.
Look, if we're doing a good job, tell them to mail the checks on where they'll be here before Saturday.
That's right. It should be here.
I want to buy me an event T-shirt, and I don't make a lot of money. I'm on Social Security, and I want to get a Dr. Dirt shirt. So,
hey, donations are welcome for sure. I got a car payment to make. What are you talking about, Ross?
Oh.
We'll go ahead and throw it in there, right? So Josh Lucas, that looks like Jimmy Dunway. Toby Reeves out here in the 68. That's Brandon Hill in the 22H.
Fast hot rod right there. Usually everywhere he goes, and that's not here, but Magnolia, Pine Ridge Speedway.
That black lettered white race car at the 10 crossing the
top of the board, I believe.
Whoa, look at that Brandon Hill.
I told you he was fast.
Man, oh man, and did he not? A 15.621. I'm sorry, there at 15.621. Now the fast time. Hey, just when we thought the track had given you your fast time, all of a sudden, Brandon Hill comes out and puts down a lap of 15.621. Now, that's not the fastest time we've seen all night, but it is the fastest time in Group B qualifying.
Group B qualifying.
Yeah, we've got
Brandon Hill.
Richie's Plumbing Statement Race Car.
Richie's Plumbing Statement Race Car, $300 is going to go to one of them here right after all this.
I'll tell you what, right about now, I could spend all that at the concession stands. My tummy is growling, man. I tell you what, I need one of them track burgers.
Shelby, she my buddy. She gave me a bite of her snow cone earlier today. I was sitting there so hot and sweaty after being up here in this hot room. She come by and gave me some of that Snow Biz snow cone.
That's right. 17K of Chris Kiefer out on the racetrack. There's a couple of drivers that we've not seen yet, or maybe their time didn't go through. I'm not sure, but we have one car that is out on the racetrack. And guess what, Ross? Guess what that means? If this is our last qualifier, we're getting ready for our qualifying races up next.
Kiefer, yeah, he won a 16.360. Is this all of them in Group 2?
I believe, Ross.
Group A.
I
keep saying 1 and 2, Group 1, Group 2. This is Group A and Group B.
So Toby Reeves and Tommy Lowry. We know Tommy was out here, but we don't see a time for him. We'll see if they send the 27 car back out. Most of the time in these situations,
they're sending them to the pits. There goes Baggett.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, Tommy Lowry may not have got a time recorded.
Was he on the track?
He was on the track. I'm not sure. He's being pushed, so that could have been an issue. We might not have seen that. He is getting a push truck behind him, but a couple of these other drivers, Toby Reeves, Jimmy Dunaway, and Josh Lucas, we're going to have to hang on to that and see if those guys just didn't make the call or what. But good news is, we've got prayer and national anthem immediately after the presentation of the Richie's Plumbing Statement Race Car, $300 check.
Well, they're going whatever heat he's in. It's qualifying. This is into Group B, right?
Yes, this is
so
it.
Chad Thrash will be the overall fast qualifier.
He is the
when
overall.
He comes out in his qualifying race.
Okay.
That's when they're
they'll
going to
present
present it.
Okay.
Yeah. They're going to stop him on the front side and give him his award and everything. So. All right, if you're watching us on Facebook right now, we appreciate you watching us.